Their wife's gonna be on TikTok, Lisa, crying about that. I didn't think he meant he's gonna take my husband. Joe Bob, he just had like 3 domestic assaults, but I took him back every time.
Well, you know what? I would be celebrating. Come get these bitches. You know what I mean? If it was my husband, I'd be like, oh yeah.
You know, but you gotta put on a show. You gotta put on a show.
Well, okay. Alright, I can do that. Come get them. Yeah, didn't know they were gonna take them, but since you got them, oh well.
Did you see Trump said, and if they try to escape, the alligator's gonna get them? This man is sick.
Oh yeah.
The alligators with the alligator that eats batteries.
Right.
But the one that eats batteries.
No, there are alligators in Alligator Alley. That's on I-75. There are definitely alligators there in the swampland.
It's alligators in Disney, honey. These people it's over.
But didn't Trump say there was an alligator that ate a battery? One of his
I don't know. He could have, but Christy Nome said they had a cannibal on the flight that ate himself. So that was a long ass
alligator.
So April, did you guys see the interview where Trump was at Alcatraz, Gator Alcatraz, when they asked him the question of how long does he expect the detainees to be held there? Trump answered, well, you know, I love Florida, and I've been in Florida a long time. I spent a lot of taxes in Florida. Guess what? Florida doesn't even charge income taxes. Florida doesn't even charge income taxes. I don't know what Trump was. Nobody knew what Trump was talking about.
He didn't understand the question, but that's what we do.
Dribbling on like a crazy 79-year-old man.
They gonna do that till hell freezes over.
But his attention was on the alligators. He wasn't paying y'all no attention.
He loved them alligators. He loved having them alligators out there.
Hey,
What's the symbolism?
say what you want about Biden.
What's the symbolism of gators?
He called Biden a son of a bitch. Did y'all hear that?
Huh?
Yeah, that's an interview. He said, yeah, Biden wanted to put me in one of these things, and then he might have son of a bitch.
Get out of here! How many curse words
He said
has he said? Okay, so I'm gonna have to tell everybody. Democrats are always trying to look like you're so prim and proper. I want somebody who uses the F word. I want the S word. I want everything when you're running for president. It's like fuck them niggas. Trump is getting away with all kind of shit that Obama could have never done. A motherfucking plane, side deals, opening up Alcatraz in San Francisco, now opening up one in Florida, 13 count, a felony, selling his hand of a woman. Just put that under Obama's name and see how long that nigga would have been in office.
Selling cell phones. I mean, come on now. This guy's selling everything.
15 goddamn minutes.
Well, Obama did call
the grip.
Kanye West a jackass. He
That's
He wore a tan suit. He liked mustard. Michelle showed her shoulders. She tried to make the children eat healthier. You know, dear God.
Yeah, they smelled it.
They can play basketball.
They smiled at each other. Don't forget, they smiled at each other in public. In public.
They should have put out a porn video.
So Matt, are you? When are you getting your Trump phone?
He already got one. He was the first one to get one.
He got a gold-plated one?
And it
well, y'all, I forgot one more thing before you guys get on Matt. Y'all remember when they tried to make Obama gay? They did it again.
They tried to do it.
They're still trying.
Remember that? There were 20 rooms.
And Michelle's trans. That's or a man. That's the thing they do now.
There's a movement right now that's making married men gay.
I'm gonna get my Trump phone. I don't know. It depends.
And you gotta buy a white some perfume, some Trump perfume.
Make sure you get your Cybertruck too.
Yeah, okay. No, I have no car note, and I will never have a car note again.
And Matt, you gotta buy wifey some Trump perfume.
Do they make Trump perfume?
I heard it's
They do. They do. They got it for men and for women, so you can get the men's one.
And it's safe.
They say he's making Trump ED pills too.
Yeah. Oh, now that, I mean, sign me up on that one.
Oh,
Well,
Matt already,
can,
listen, hey, Matt already gets hard when he thinks about Trump.
I wish.
That was a good one.
That's the only way you can get this shit up, April.
But listen, we're
He
so
tells his
people
wife,
don't
talk to
realize.
me like Trump would.
People don't realize all the people. I have a friend of mine. He was like, he's a MAGA. He was like, yeah, man, no tax on overtime. I was like, you know they're gonna cap that shit up to an amount where it won't fucking affect you. And he goes, no, it's fool. All my overtime won't be taxed. That's what Trump said. So today I copied and sent him the language on the no tax on overtime in the Republican bill, in the Senate bill, and he goes, that's fucked up. They capped that shit at 12,000.
Yeah,
I was like, I told your ass that.
You know these
it
dumb niggas.
expires.
They don't run about taxes. Come on now.
And it expires it expires in 3 years.
Yeah. It expires in 3 years, but the billionaire,
28. Yeah.
yeah, but the billionaire tax breaks don't expire.
Don't expire. Yep. I'm not lying. I literally got a tax break from Trump's bill because my family did. I'm not lying. But the problem is that the poor people didn't really get a tax break. They actually pay more taxes now. And they voted for Trump, which just blows my mind.
They put so many requirements on the Medicaid or what have you. Most people are gonna just give up and just don't get the insurance, and that's what they're counting on.
You have to work 20 hours a week. If you're younger than 65 and your kids are over 14 or 15.
No, the kids are over 7.
I saw 8-7 if you're not married, if they don't count as a dependent, if
Yep.
you're 8-7.
And then the income, the daycare that they were using, those checks they were getting, that counts as income. So a lot of them may not be eligible for these programs anymore.
So people that are disabled, right? Then they say they're on food stamps or whatever assistance. So you say they have to work 20 hours a week, Matt?
They already
Bill.
work. They already work. My friend who worked for me and passed away like a year later, she was already working at Walmart as many hours as she could get. And she was on disability, and she had all kinds of assistance. Haitian people who get that, and she wasn't, like, she could get around and stuff, right? I'm not saying that she was disabled in a wheelchair or anything. But there's people with serious health issues, right? She almost died twice as a child from a disease that she had her entire life. And she was working. And at Walmart, they wanted her to lift those big, the big water bottles that you put back in the things at the offices. She can't do that. She couldn't do that. So she came to work for me before she passed away. And these stupid people, they don't want to be called maggots and all this stuff. I'll just say the stupid people don't know about people who work and are on Medicaid because they're too poor, because they're working for multi-million-dollar companies like Walmart, who we subsidize their employees by providing SNAP and all these benefits. But you're okay with that. The corporate motherfucking welfare, you're fine with that. You're fine with it because all of us, we should have to just feed each other, because that's the Christian way. I'm so sick of this shit.
So April, but my question though is like, say the ones who are not working, right, and they're disabled. So is it now mandatory that they have to work?
I think they're excluded, but I don't know what that determination will be now, Haitian. Will there be a new determination criteria, right, that they have to meet? So I haven't looked that far into it, but that would be a concern.
You already know the answer.
Yeah, you got to be visually disabled in order for you to get any benefits now.
Yep.
Okay, my people who are in Telegram, look at that picture of the trauma that we had to do.
Yeah, I'll just look at it right now, Lisa.
And you see that? And
Yeah, I
that
was
person
like, what the
had
fuck?
no insurance. So, meaning, not having to, I don't want to have insurance conversation. What I'm saying to you is we're going to go
trigger
broke.
warning.
We're going to go broke. The hospitals are going to go.
Nation, I ain't even get a trigger warning. I went to go check out Telegram. I said, what the
Yeah, I'm like,
I couldn't
Mel,
believe
send
it
the,
because when you're in the
Telegram
middle
link.
of it, you can't believe it, right? I took that fucking picture because that person survived. But I'm just saying, just that's money. That is money. That's my world.
my
And
God,
that's
Lisa.
money. So just
My God.
imagine how we are going to go the fuck broke.
The amount of blood they went through, the amount of
Dr. Goddard, I send you the picture in your back.
and the
It look like a
people
Diddy
involved
party
in the
afterwards.
care.
Send it to me, Mel.
This is every major and sometimes small hospitals across America, especially trauma centers. As Lisa said, these people gonna have. Hello, you gonna die.
This is
You're
one
gonna die.
case.
After a Diddy party.
One case.
Well, I remember
Go
this.
look at it.
Before you check it out.
One
I saw
case.
this before.
This is crazy. Now this was from last night. This is one case.
Oh, no.
That shit was a mess. So who has to clean that shit up? Or they,
It wasn't me. The person whose legs are sitting down right there is one of the residents, and he goes, "I can't believe this just happened." I said, "You look at this shit.
Lisa,
I'm getting ready to get out of here."
Did they make it? There's plenty of times that
Yes, that person did.
this effort is given. There's many times
And they
this
don't
effort
make
is
it.
given, and people do not make it. It's
And
hell.
where do you guys think that money goes? The hospital has to eat it like a
that
prime
shit,
rib.
Hey, Lisa, is that an ED OR?
This is no. This is an OR from a level 1.
Oh, damn. What the hell?
The patient made it upstairs.
Dang.
Oh, my
It's
God.
a very nice hospital because you can see all the equipment is brand new. You can see our suction thing sitting over there. Everything in there is brand new, state of the art. But the thing about it was that now the patient's going to the ICU. So the money, the damn nurse teller, you know what I'm saying? So Trump them, they don't want you guys to survive shit like this.
No.
So stop you at the ED, in the emergency department, let your motherfucking ass die, and then that's it. You know, they're not worried about the way this country, the way we treat each other, or we should be treating each other, or whatever. All that's over. We going to third world, for real.
That's why I put
Hey,
the
listen,
whole world as a
but
topic.
the bill, did you guys realize the bill is going to make the ACA more difficult for people to get because they're going to raise some of the eligibility criteria?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
You think they're gonna change? Emerald, you think they're gonna change it where your kids can stay on there?
Huh?
6?
Nah, they don't want that shit. Nah, if you're over the age of 7, you're an adult. Have a child. You're over 7.
Nah, but real talk, you think they're gonna change that?
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of that shit. Yo, they
Listen.
don't want any ACA regulations.
So,
That shit goes.
I have to look up this stuff this week because my daughter's in college, so she has to get some extra stuff. So I can go get her a new military ID so she can stay on TRICARE and also stay on Delta Dental, because man, they changed it. It was like all I think Obama did that, or else my daughter would have to have gotten insurance for my daughter. She's 21 now. So people don't realize how good ACA, all the changes that were brought about by ACA.
How the hell
Yo,
is
people don't give a fuck, bro. They don't.
Yeah, it's like, how the hell a 21-year-old gonna have great medical insurance from a job? Like, come on, let's be careful. Let's be realistic.
My friend, her
And
adult
she's in
children
college.
are unable to.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of them 21 are still in college.
My friend whose adult children are not able to live alone, right? They have different neurodivergent mental health issues, serious ones. $500 a month for each to have insurance if they don't have a job. You tell me how the fuck they pay $1,500 a month plus what coverage her her husband, I think they have coverage through his working for the school system, the Dallas school system. Sorry, but yeah, per child, per adult, $500 a month.
Why? Because they report what income they report in their parents' income?
Yeah. That's why the two older ones work. Thank God they have jobs.
Okay.
The youngest one, she's working part-time at Starbucks, and you can't get health insurance at Starbucks part-time. So she's trying to get her somewhere else.
Does a local community, friends, family, church, nonprofit organizations have any responsibility?
How are they going to take care
Or is it
of
just the
people when
church?
they're-
Or is it just our government? Or is it just us? Let me go. You're gonna let me finish. You're gonna let me finish. I'm gonna finish. I'm going to finish what I'm saying because I don't speak much. Why can't at what point do friends, family, local community, the church, nonprofits take on the responsibility of taking care of people? Why is it always the
I'm
government?
going to
Okay,
tell you why. Hold
That's
on.
you saying something dumb again.
Let me go first. Matt, here's the thing. None of those people, none of those entities are responsible for securing the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness of each American. Okay? They're not responsible for that. I'm not responsible for that. The community but the communities and churches and people do those things. There are lots of regular people who donate to charities and provide things. You didn't mention them. You just mentioned the billionaires giving money. That's all you mentioned. But we already do, and it's not enough alone to take care of people. What are people supposed to do when they are suffering themselves? The people who give the most in donations comparatively are the people in the middle class, are the working people in this country who are doing 2 and 3 jobs to have a full-time schedule of work. You don't understand. Maybe nobody in your house works anymore. I don't know, but people in my house work, and I know. Okay?
All right, so
USAID. So Matt, USAID, they also, I'm looking right now. They also assisted NGOs and other non-governmental agencies with aid and food and whatnot. And they decimated and expired that agency.
Breaking news. Diddy was denied bail.
okay, there you go.
You could go on.
Yeah. So a lot of those agencies who stood up and was able to help, a lot of them have either had to contract their services or close altogether. And a lot of that was the direct result of USAID not being able to exist anymore to give them the help that they were used to receiving to help folks who were below the poverty line or couldn't help themselves enough.
So Matt,
Diddy was denied bail?
Yes. I'm 1 minute ago. I'm so happy about that.
Gonna keep your black ass in jail. Thank you.
So Matt, I'm gonna explain it to.
Oh, sorry, Boyle. Just on the Diddy piece. I was in Plan B, telling Realist off. Realist was our guest earlier today. Remember him? Yeah. And literally the whole room told him that he was slow. And he was just saying all types of stupid stuff. But they thought, oh, he's going home. Diddy's going home. And the last thing I said to them was, hey, y'all, I just want to remind you that the judge can consider all evidence that was brought up in this case, to affect whether or not he's going to send Diddy home or not. And they were just silent. So, anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
That's what I said earlier, Dr. Goddess, on my lunch break. He remembered everything that was said during this case about how he treated women, beat up women, bring women against the wall, regardless of what he was actually found guilty of. Really? If I was a judge,
And I hope when they're charging him, they remember everything that was said and everything that came through his courtroom for the past 8 weeks.
Exactly, because just because the jury got confused, the judge ain't confused.
You said the jury got confused? Oh my God.
Yeah, I do. I think that the prosecution didn't really do a great job communicating, like really breaking down the RICO part. You know what I mean? Like, they
closing?
huh?
In their closing, I'm sorry, Emil.
Yeah, in their closing arguments, because you can't have people sitting there listening to all this detailed information and crying and carrying on for 2 months straight, right? And then in your closing argument, now mind you, I mean, we didn't hear it. You know what I mean? We only got like the transcripts. You know what I mean? So we didn't hear like inflection and all this other stuff. But you gotta make it clear for them. You know, you got to make it clear. And I mean, apparently it just wasn't made clear enough. Because I see Rico very clearly. And I'm just like, I'm not even in the jury. Why can't y'all see it? But that doesn't mean that, it doesn't, because I wasn't there, right? Like all the stuff, all the paper, all that, like just everything that has gone on, like it's the prosecution's job to tell the story. And obviously they just didn't do a good enough job.
Well, remember what we said earlier about, about how evidence is presented. Remember, just like someone said, the judge got to consider everything. But in all of those things that were brought in front of the court before a jury saw it, they weren't all put into evidence, right? And when you think about that, a prosecution is going to have all of this stuff and want to present all of this stuff as evidence for the case. But if they get these things taken out, it kind of always weakens their case at the end of the day, because there are things that are through lines. And it seemed like from our analysis in this room that there were through lines that were cut off from the root, like so the jury never saw it. And if they never saw it, right, then guess what? You can't, even if they know about it, they can't expect it to be utilized in deliberation. So if it's not utilized in deliberation because it's not considered, then guess what? Now your whole case is weakened, and they got to judge the case according to whatever they got.
Where's Brooklyn? I remember Brooklyn. I'm sorry, Brooklyn predicted no Rico. Is she not in this room yet, Brooklyn?
She's not.
Okay.
Yeah. But
She came earlier the phone.
Okay.
And we were talking about it, but she was firm that no Rico. Like she really does not. I believe there was Rico, and at the same time I understand and accept why the jury didn't convict. But she doesn't believe there was ever Rico, period.
Well, the prosecutors did. They just did a fucked up job. And they should be fired. But when the defense did not have to call, did they call one witness? Nothing.
I mean, but
Did the defense call any witnesses?
No,
they didn't.
The defense didn't call any witness. Their whole argument was that the prosecution, is going to fail. This is a wrong argument. That was their whole thing. So they didn't call anybody.
Wow.
Yeah, but why should they get fired? I mean, again, you can't fire someone from being hamstrung of their case. Like, you didn't get to present everything you could. So,
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, but but it's the thing. The prosecutor can only do what they can do.
Fired. It's all about your win-loss record.
Yeah, but if I have shaved off serial number guns and they don't allow me to put it into the case, what am I supposed to do about that?
What did they allow?
They did. Okay, was that presented into evidence?
Oh, about his guns?
Yeah.
I didn't follow it that close. It was not. So you're saying?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I never heard anything about it. I knew that it existed because it was brought up when they first did when they did the raids.
But the guns is just like, I mean.
Well, they were illegal, and it wasn't like one or two guns.
But I'm saying, like, the jury had bribery. We literally have the tape, the witness saying they got bribed, they got called out of the blue. KK got their number. Like, they clearly made bribery obvious, and the jury still didn't get that. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Get the guns is a bit of a stretch.
Right, but the problem is the bribery. Was it presented to the jury, even though it was happening to them? So it was happening to them, and it was presented to them. Is that a fact?
It was presented to them by way of the witnesses, like the guard that went to the door, the hotel employee, I should say, that went to the door. and that saw everything, he is the one that was bribed. And he's the one that Diddy was like, I know you want to do the right thing. He kept calling him his angel.
Wait.
I think that he was like in his 20s right now, like he was young. But he is the one who initiated the bribe, and he's the one that got the $100,000.
Yeah, but remember they also split that $100,000 between two other employees.
No. Yeah. I'm not talking about that bribery. Yes. That I don't understand how. I'm talking about from what I heard, there was a phone call to a jury member or something like that.
No,
is that the case? A text message?
It was a random text, but nobody could prove that. Nobody could
prove it was coming from Diddy.
Okay, got you. I mean, well, yeah, when you see texts like, oh, are you juror number 6? Yeah, homie, like, who would text that? It wouldn't be the prosecutor. I'm sorry, like, what? What's going on right now? So, all right, but, at the end of the day, there was obvious bribery happening within the case and possibly to the jurors. And if they didn't consider that, like, damn, either they just turned their brains off or they did get bribed and they wanted to keep their mouth shut and they collected that check. Maybe that's what happened.
Now, here's something for Matt. And his peeps. White people are very, very upset, apparently, that Diddy did not get RICO. I'm crying. I mean, the nerve, right? Like, you literally, you voted for a president that has so many charges, like all this, and you mad about Diddy not getting RICO? Real.
Palestine.
I mean,
talking about RICO.
They should really be glad that Trump never got a RICO case, because he could easily get a RICO case. I'm just keeping it real. If you look at some of those charges, I'm like, wait up, you add it up. That could be RICO. Damn it, he's on the phone. I never got a chance to say that thing that I wanted to say. Oh.
That's what Matt does, so he won't face accountability.
Well, hopefully everybody's changing their topics now. Instead of it saying that Diddy would be free today, they could change their topics in their rooms.
They know it's always been running this fucking room. Yep.
Yes.
That's some sick shit.
Listen, they were all saying he's gonna walk out of there. He's gonna put both of his fists up in the air.
But weren't they doing baby oil? Somebody said that they were pouring baby oil on each other outside.
There was a dude outside dancing with no shirt on, putting baby oil on his body. Yep.
Oh, weird.
And he needs to go to jail too.
And it was packed. It was crowded outside.
Exactly. Snatch his ass up.
Yeah.
So when do you guys think they're going to sentence him?
I don't know, because you know what?
I think this month.
Can he appeal?
Can he appeal what to
well, yes, he can appeal after he's sentenced.
Yeah, after he's sentenced. I love it. Oh, thank you, Judge. At least that much. Now, listen, Mel.
He could get pardoned too, of course. ML.
Oh yes,
but this gives him the opportunity to get black dye for his hair.
Yes, he's on federal.
Oh damn, Trump won't pardon him.
He's gonna give $1 million
to
Trump.
It's fine, because you know what? Diddy had never done Diddy had never been held accountable a day in his life. He never did a single day in jail until this came up. So at least he got a little taste of something, no matter what.
Yeah, he got to sit down. He got to sit down and eat some crappy food and not dye his hair. And not dye his hair. And he had to take a piss and a shit in a toilet with no covering.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, just kill me now. Oh, Lord of mercy.
Yeah. That metal toilet, I'm sure, is really low with no toilet seat cover.
Is that the toilet with the sink built on it? Oh, goddamn.
You painted a picture with scanning on it. But you know what's wild? I don't think Trump's gonna pardon him yet. If Trump's gonna pardon him, Trump's gonna be one of those pardons when Trump's about to leave office.
Yes, yep. You're right about that.
Trump has already said that he knows Diddy. Because Trump used to go to all Diddy parties. So,
But I don't know, ML, because my theory was that Trump could easily pardon him, and the reason why he would want to do it is because he's getting ready to go after Black Americans and Black men in particular. So, you know, he was just saying at one of his most recent press conferences, he's like, you know, no, the deportations are so important. But, you know, there's a lot of people that have been here, that are born here, been here a long time, been here, you know, who are from here. And they're committing a lot of crimes as well. So, you know, maybe they should also be deported, you know. So, like, he's coming from the natural born.
No, but
he's coming.
But didn't the judge already say? The judges already say that's illegal. They can't deport a person who was born here. Like, what the hell? We're supposed to deport them to.
Under the guise of crime, there's a lot of leeway, though. You know, under the guise of crime.
yeah, but for you to deport somebody, a country has to be willing to take that person.
Yeah.
So who's gonna take him?
Yeah, and not only that, but I'm gonna be honest, that will be uprising because first of all, you already got people uprising, right? When they got people who are possibly from other countries being deported, right? Can you imagine if homie, or you know, it doesn't even matter what their race is, but if they're like, oh well, we're gonna deport your brother because you know he has a series of crimes. Do you think people are standing for that shit? Hell no, that's not happening.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna troll Plan B just one more time.
But how come some MAGA making rules about this big, beautiful bill and talking about how great it is?
Because they know it's bullshit.
They don't care about the big, beautiful bill because they're millionaires and they earn six figures. So they don't care. And even the regular ones.
I'm just sitting in my office, watching y'all, listening to y'all. Goddamn.
You know what's funny? I remember that Good always used to call Mac racist man. That used to be so funny.
Oh, he left.
What up, Scotty?
Yo,
Who's that? Trump and Mephisto? Scott?
who?
Trump and Mephisto in your picture? I can't tell, man.
Oh my PTR. No, that is the cover of Pink Floyd album.
Wait, what Pink Floyd album is that?
Wish you were here. It symbolizes the regular man doing a deal with a businessman, but at the same time destroying himself.
Got you. Damn it, I got
So how many signed the petition for Trump to deport Musk?
I mean, at this point, I don't even care. I'm just
But funny thing, you know when we used to say that it's just a matter of time that those two will fall out, and it's gonna be quick. And we were so right because we know Trump. And apparently it's like Musk, if you're that iota of a genius, you should have known that shit was coming too.
Yeah, somebody made a comment. That's a great idea. We should petition to deport Melania. Like, can you imagine? What would Trump say? Whoa, wait, you don't want to meet our petition because it's your wife? Well, that's not fair.
And although she came to the country and she worked when she was on a tourist visa. So she did commit a crime before she got her Einstein visa.
That's a fact.
You know, Diddy's judge is younger than him. He's only 46 years old.
So Mel, I've come to the realization that most people are now younger than me. when you know, it used to be the other way around. Most people that especially patients that I deal with, right? That all the patients I would deal with were all older than me, or majority were older than me. And now I'm realizing that all professionals are younger than me, and that shit feels weird, yo.
Y'all got the date? It's July 8th.
July 8th is what?
July 8th is when the sentence, yeah.
I thought it was October.
No, they wouldn't make that long.
Quick, bro.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm saying it for him. I think if I was the defense, I would choose the fastest date because then that gives me the opportunity for appeal. So you know, he's lucky that it's next week.
It's good for us. It's good for us too, so we can get this whole fucking thing over with.
But
On Clubhouse.
but listen, if
They're not going to sentence him to October 3rd.
Well, that's probably when he got to show up. But if he files an appeal,
So what did you
does he get the same judge or it's a whole different?
Yeah, it's
Of
the
course,
same
it's the
judge.
same judge.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like the death penalty.
It says right here, Sean Diddy Combs' next court date is scheduled for October 3rd at 10 in the morning for sentencing.
Yo, I'll be like, yo, judge, sentence me right
No,
now.
it's July 8th,
Like, what
then.
the fuck is this?
Yeah, so what is the July 8th date?
I don't know.
This is why I shouldn't be hopping from room to room. Okay.
Yeah.
And this
Because
is
they were
reported,
reading from it. They were reading.
this is reported from CNN.
Yeah. No, I accept it. I just, the homie was reading from something.
Hold on. The judge proposed to this date and is willing to adjust it if the defense requests an earlier date.
Yeah.
Maybe they requested an earlier date. I don't know.
Yeah. Let me look.
Yeah, if they were smart, they would do that. Because 3 months down the line I'm realizing that is standard for cases of this nature.
It's all right. He's gonna be a year, so then he'll be able to scratch off a year off his sentence.
But though he's gonna waste time witness tampering, Mel, we gotta let him out so he can get at these witnesses.
Oh shit.
It's so sad. This is so sad. Wait, I'm looking right now.
It always makes
Doesn't
me
he have
wonder.
state charges anywhere, y'all?
Nah,
No?
not that I know of.
Based on the provided information, Sean Combs does not have court. You see, he does not have court on July 8th. It says he does not have a court date scheduled for July 8th. His sentence,
Oh, okay. No, so this is what happened. Okay. Got it. Okay. Wait, let me go down. I'll go down the list. 4:59 p.m. In the courtroom, Combs' lawyers, Brian Steele and Jason Driscoll, are patting each other on the back. Agnifilio is in the holding cell with Combs. His family is in the second row of the gallery. 5:04. Combs' lawyers, Agnifilio,
Why
and
are you patting each other on the back? He is going to jail, isn't he?
Yeah, but it's considered a huge victory to not have Rico. You know what I mean?
yeah, it was the judges that was patting on the back of the other judge, right? I mean, the other lawyer, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the lawyer.
How old is Combs? Is he 60 yet?
56.
Yeah.
Okay, so 20 years on to that.
So he'll be spending his 57th birthday behind bars.
Good.
But
Happy
he'll be
birthday, Dave.
spending, the minimum is 10 years, or is it 20 years per count?
No, it's a maximum of
10 per count. Yeah.
So that's 20.
Enough. Can he serve them both at the same time?
Yeah,
It's the judge
usually
verdict.
they do.
Yeah.
They usually do.
It's up to the judge.
True. But yeah, that but they usually give them what do they call it? Consecutive sentencing. So yeah,
I mean, they
I
might
don't.
not. They may be separate. They may be separate and smaller. But we have to keep in mind this. In spite of how much Diddy has gotten away with, this is his only charge. He's a first-time offender.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of people writing letters to the judge. I feel like the 2 letters that were just written from Cassie and
Yes.
Stylus.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
Niggas gonna kill me.
Yep.
I agree. Well, okay, so let me do the update, y'all.
It's too much.
504 Combs' lawyers.
There's something to update.
Yeah.
Okay.
His lawyers emerged from the holding cell, still waiting for Sean Combs to be brought to the courtroom by U.S. Marshals. Sean Combs has been brought in, sits next to Tenny Garagos reading. Agnathalio walks over to the lectern, then back over to his seat. Prosecutors are in place at the front table waiting on Judge Supermanian. Judge, I've read the parties' submissions and others. The jury convicted the defendant of counts 3 and 5. For the following reasons, the bail is denied. Judge, even if the defendant was solely required to show that he is not a danger to the community, he could not meet that burden. Prior to trial, the court denied bail and sees no reason to reverse that now. The defense conceded the defendant's violence. His violence is depicted in the video of Cassie Ventura. The defense admitted this is a terrible moment. Domestic violence is the issue, is what she said. It wasn't only that. There was the London hotel incident. There was violence after the searches in this case. As to Jane, there was June 2024, after the searches of Combs' residences. This evidences a disregard for the law and a propensity for violence. So, the court takes no position on what it will consider as sentencing, nor what sentence it will impose. But here, the burden is on him and he cannot carry it. The defense argues the guideline starts at 21 months. The U.S. says 51 months. He's done 10 months. I set sentencing for Friday, October 3rd at 10 a.m. I am willing to expedite it. Combs Agnathalio, we would like it expedited. Judge, we will need an expedited pre-sentencing report from probation, but I will be available anytime. Judge, there is a great divide on the sentencing guideline. I see that Ms. Comey has her statute book open. Comey, the rule required the preparation of a report, absent a reasoned waiver. Probation may be able to expedite. Judge, update me by July 8th at noon. That's where July 8th comes in. Then the judge says, and we'll hold a hearing on the afternoon of July 8th. Combs Agnathalio, Your Honor has a lot of information from presiding over the trial. We want the sentencing as soon as possible. Other Mann Act cases, there's nothing remotely similar to this. The cases we reviewed involved the defendants making money, millions, or involved minors. That's different. Here are the facts. From our letter, see United States versus Dillon. And then Inner City Press wrote, actually, it's the United States versus Dillon Jordan. I covered here. Blah, blah. Agnathalio. Then there was the Emperor's Club case of the former governor of New York. Ooh, the shade. We understand this is moving quickly. The issue for us, if we'd had more time, we could have shown extraordinary circumstances. The judge says, you concede violence in your closing. Whether that's relevant to sentencing is not for today, but it can be considered on a bail application. Agnathalio, in June 2024, there's an argument that Mr. Combs was defending himself. So that was literally 5 minutes. Wait, that was 5 minutes ago. So there's going to be some more updates. Those are the latest.
See, then that's how you hear about that violence earlier, and that's.
Yeah. And the defense conceded to it twice, and the judge heard everything. I really, you know what? I said he wasn't going to walk free. I said he wasn't going to leave the courtroom a free man. So on those two, I was right. I didn't know too much about charges, and I really don't care. I was like, as long as he goes to jail, this is the perfect person for jail. So my thing is, the judge has heard all this violence. the defense conceded to violence. They conceded. So why would I be lenient on citizens this way? He's a violent person. He needs to go and sit down for a little while.
Yeah, that's because Lisa, they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. So the reason why they conceded the violence, this is just my theory, but you see defense like this a lot, is because if they didn't, right, then you could establish pattern. And it's so easy to do it from the history of this defendant of pattern of violence. And so even if you're talking about situations that are outside of the preview of limitation, right, you could still say, well, he has a pattern of this type of behavior, right, and it'll fit into the case. And now when you go to the actual 10-year time, you could say, well, his past shows what he's done within this window of time. So like they had to, because they would have been screwed. They would have tried to defend that shit, and they don't want to do that. So that's why they conceded to it. Now here's the crazy thing: they're trying to have their cake and eat it too by saying, well, you know, we conceded to that, and it's true, but don't hold that against him. You know, let him go. Let's get this sentencing going, and let's give him some time served. You know, they're trying to have their cake eat too. This shit is hilarious. Everything that you wait, who read that?
The goddess.
Yeah, Dr. Goddess. When you read that, I'm like, yeah, I love this. I love this. This judge is not dumb, and I'm glad this judge.
Yeah, they're teasing the defense on Twitter because they were like, you are the one that asked for an expedited trial. So that's what you got. You know, like if you, the judge is saying, like, I guess they didn't think that there was going to be any guilty, any guilty findings. You know what I mean? So if they thought that there would be, they would have prepared in advance, to show, I forget the extraordinary cases that they're talking about.
Well, they should have had that letter. They should have had that done in advance.
Right. That's why they're being teased on
Like,
Twitter.
if you
you wanted the expedited trial, you had plenty of time to prepare.
Yeah, you got 8 attorneys that he hired. Okay, you knew that this could have been a partial or whatever was going to happen. You knew that since yesterday, right? Because we had 4 counts in yesterday. So you should have had your shit done right. Like, what the hell?
What the hell?
Mind you, this is the 4th time he gets bail denied. And it's not even been a year. And this is his 4th bail denied.
Well, you know that.
But this is the 2nd time it's been denied by this judge. Because you remember the other 2 were by 2 other ones. Because you remember they changed the judge like 3 times?
Oh, wait, they did? I didn't know that.
Yes. The judge that gave him denial was one guy. Then they gave him another judge. It was denied from another guy. And then finally this guy came on. And then this is his 2nd denial with this judge.
They all see the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
But for somebody like Combs, I could see why they want to expedite a trial. Because if you look at the R. Kelly case and how long that shit stretched out, you don't want to be Sean Combs and stretch that shit out for that long and sitting in.
Yeah, but it was also
cells.
COVID for It was COVID for.
But that's my point. Like it's just terrible to be that person of that status and sitting in holding cell for years like that. Nah, expedite that shit. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
So sad.
Yeah. I mean, well, true. It's
so sad for the bologna sandwiches and the honeycomb.
Just because this dude
and the cup of noodle soup.
Get some of those crackers and make them peanut butter things y'all
with
have
some fruit punch with no sugar.
Yeah, and make
to make his birthday cake inside of a Ziploc bag.
Get creative.
About to mix that shit up.
You know what? He's a fucking man. He made a fucking man mistake. Human mistake. Why are we caring? I don't even give a damn if he gets the black dye for his fucking hair, if he gotta stay in the fucking basement with one light hanging. He's Diddy, so what? Was he the school. What has Diddy done for us to be having 21 rooms and 200 hours about this nigga? When we saw the first violation of what he did to another human being. That should have been it. It should have been it. But we can't. We are so caught up on this one nigga that got money, that did a whole bunch of other dumb shit, and we can't even just say fuck him. Who cares?
Dr. Goddess, you should have bet those people. You should have bet the people in Plan B that he wasn't coming out today, so you could get some money.
The way
they were going, he coming out today. He coming out today.
And wait, no. So Bullis
was
in there. Bullis was in there and was like, "Where's Kalisha?" Wait, no, he was like, "Where's Kalisha? Where's Dr. Goddess? Where they at? Let's put them on trial." Because they was over there.
You know they don't know the law. You know they don't know the law.
They don't have
I said, oh my God.
Forget about the law.
You're right though, Mel. Dang, I lost my opportunity.
I'm telling you, that would have been a quick win. All right, put your money where your mouth is.
And you know
what's
come out funny is other people.
They talking shit about his son right now. Like, oh, your son's over here telling the ABC News my daddy's coming home, and he's over there dancing in the street, and they talking shit about his son.
And these are the same people who are not
Christian Combs
insurance next week.
His twin.
Y'all not gonna have food stamps next week. You're not gonna have medical insurance next week. You're not gonna have school. And this is the focus on this nigga. This is why they look at our community and we sit up here just dying. Some of these Negroes in here gonna pull their goddamn hair off and cut their balls off. They don't know what to do, but they won't do anything. Put this much energy in all the shit that we need to elevate our community. Not, you know what I'm saying? It's perplexing.
And I called Diddy. I said, because I was on the stage at Diddy, and I called Diddy a fake black leader, right? And I was like, I mean, look at all that he's done. I said, he kept trying to present himself, as this black leader. I said, but in reality, he was dropping everything that he was talking about. I said, he had no follow through because those were not his priorities. I said, and he was a fake black leader.
Did you guys look at my link up on top, him on his knees? Do you see it? The sketch of him on his knees right there. Yeah, he's praying.
Yeah, he does this notorious thing where he fakes turn to God, right?
Yep.
I mean, like, okay, so you remember the case with the champagne bottle with Steve Stout?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so for those who don't know, the reason why that whole thing went down is because of the Nas video you gave me now, and in the video, him and Nas are depicted as being on the cross, like if they were being, crucified like Jesus, right? And then, you don't see the full thing when you're making the video, but then when you see the visuals and how they augmented, right, you see what they've done. And he claims that, right, before he hit homie over with the champagne bottle, that he told them not to put the video out, and they did it anyway, and it's because he went to his pastor and he let his pastor look at it and said, we don't like this because it looked like you look like Jesus in this video. So he told him not to put it out, and they put it out anyway, and so he got mad and he hit homie with the champagne bottle. He always referred to God when it comes to everything. That's what he does. He's a liar. He's a cheater. He's never honest. It's a fake dude.
Yeah, he's a fake. I mean, he's just a piece of shit. I mean, it's a shame. But and I put it in the chat. But I don't think that he's a leader. But he kept trying to present himself as one. Remember, vote or die. Like I said, even in the room.
Let me read something from Tiny Harris, which is T.I.'s wife. Yeah. People want to charge you so bad for being freaky. It's nasty work.
Yeah. Tiny, be quiet.
She's doing that because you remember she was charged.
Yeah. Who was charged?
She went through that lawsuit. Yeah. So that's why she's doing it.
Y'all are lucky.
Somebody said Tiny ugly so.
My colleagues just told me that, they were outside the courtroom with baby oil.
That's sad.
That is crazy.
That's very sad.
So this is what I wanted y'all to remember.
Go inside the educational department when they close it. I'll see you guys out there pouring, stack
okay.
You guys, I'm just so sick.
So, So this is like if I was on the prosecution, like a part of my argument to the jury, would be that, remember, Jane told us that Diddy would have her listening to sermons, gospel sermons with his ass, right? And then look at how he treated her. And then remember that when Diddy put out his apology, right? And he was like, Cassie, I'm so sorry. I was messed up. I was so messed up. I've been praying for God's mercy to make me a better man. When he made that video, he was doing freak offs with Jane, who just cried, right, about her proximity of her story to Cassie's. Like, this man has no repentance in him. So this fake bowing down on the chair, praying to God, shut up, go to jail.
$10 sounds pretty okay. I thought 10 years was good for all the shit I saw. So if he would have got more, I wouldn't have been feeling no kind of way. But I think 10 years is good. And in Fed time, don't you have to do like 90% of it or all of it or something like that?
I think somebody mentioned 85%.
Yeah, I said that earlier. It's about, I was saying 8 out of 9. 8 out of 9 you got to do in Fed stuff. So he ain't getting out.
That Brian Steele lawyer, he's gonna have a lot of people wanting him since he already won 2 RICO charges.
Oh my God. Well, just don't do the crimes, people. Isn't that you lining your lawyers up because you know you can't resist your criminality? That is so funny to me. It is beyond me. But I think 10 years would be good for him. And then what about the other suits that he has? The people who are taking him to, what do you guys call it? Civil. Is that all still a go? Because I ain't had enough of this Diddy. Because I'm looking at how people are acting, losing their fucking minds over somebody who could give a shit about them.
You know something? And now that he's going to keep his money because he don't have that RICO, now they can really sue him and get some ducats from him now. So, okay.
All right, well, spread the wealth throughout the Black community, Diddy. We need it now under this Trump era.
I sent you something in the back. That's statement from Mr. Funkmaster Flex himself.
Oh, no, I saw that. I'm like, Funkmaster Flex, I know you're not talking. I know you are not talking.
You read this one, the one I just sent you right now?
Oh, no, I read the last one you sent me.
No, look at this one.
Is he putting a bomb on it?
Because I'm driving.
You can read it if you want.
Can you read it?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
While you're reading it, you gotta go boom. You gotta put the bomb on it. So that's
so stupid.
Put the bomb. Okay, wait a minute. Look, you ain't gotta ask me to be theatrical. Okay, let's see. All right. Yeah, we got that. The denial. Okay, wait. Got that. All right. Funk Flex, he says, I think Cassie has been through a lot, especially at a young age. She's such a nice person and always gave off good energy. I hope her and her family overcome all of the pain they are going through. The entertainment business is a dangerous environment that everyone is not built for. I do think you and your lawyers should give it a rest. You threatened to drop a book, then got paid out to not drop the book. If you cared so much to get your message out, you would have dropped the book. I get it. It's a case. You had to testify. You 30 mil up and 10 mil up from the hotel. You playing this lick? Please don't be mad at me, but I don't see you as a victim. You was young, Diddy made bad choices, and you made bad choices. When do you plan to teach the girls not to make the same mistakes you made? Just my opinion. At Cassie.
boom. That was so trash of him.
And he at her in it, so that shit went straight to her.
Yep.
What 50 Cent put out there?
That he's gay.
Yeah, it's always about him being gay.
He caught Diddy gay. Hold on, let me see if he put something when they were denied the bail.
You know he's gonna drop the documentary.
Is he dropping in next week on his birthday?
There you go.
I don't know when he dropping it, but now the case is over.
It says Diddy beat the Rico. That boy a bad man. He likes gay. He's like the gay John Gotti.
Man, that's fucked up.
Get the fuck off my page talking about I'm supposed to be scared of gay Teflon Don.
Wait, who said this?
This is
Curtis Jackson.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Jackson. By the way, we don't want, as the only representative of the LGBTQ plus community on stage, I'm going to declare that we don't accept him. You straights have to own Diddy. Period.
Nah, he was traded, Scotty. Sorry about that. He was traded. He was definitely traded.
No. The draft is denied.
Who we taking from the gay side, guys?
Dawn Richards. Hold on. What the hell?
We'll take Cooper.
Dawn Richards calls Diddy.
To whether they're illegal immigrants, we'll sort it out later. So American citizens, and I don't know how many, I don't know how widespread it is, but anecdotally I can tell you that it's happened, are getting incarcerated. So if you were to say,